I love it. Okay, so Alex hit the button.
I already
Give it a
did.
second.
We're like 10 seconds in.
Woo.
Somebody is sassy. Normally it's me.
Well,
What's up with that? Yeah. Today
I
it's
was
an
up at
Alex.
like 6 o'clock this morning.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, David, here on Chatting Underground, where we like to bring the underground music scene above ground and share it with the world. And I picked you to come join us because you're part of a group called Punk Rock Saves Lives. That's how I met you.
It's true.
At yes,
It's attached to my bag.
And so I tried to do a little bit of research on it. You should really tell them their website is lacking.
Yeah.
It has not been updated since 2022. Right. Like all of the festivals that are listed on the website are from 2021 and 2022. I was like, this is they should fix that.
I'm off by a couple years usually, but yeah, that's
Yeah. So, but I did see on the site when I pulled it up that the word punk and Punk Rock Saves Lives is an acronym for positivity, unity, nurture, and kindness.
yes.
And that the core idea for the whole concept is that it uses music to promote awareness and action on health, equal rights, and human rights.
Yes.
And so when you decided to become a part of this, was there like a story behind why you wanted to, or were you like, oh, this is just kind of cool?
I think the first time it was ooh, I'm gonna be there, and that sounds interesting, and I'm gonna do it. And then I realized there's more going on, so I was like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna kind of weasel my way in here, and I feel getting that feel good scratch of like I'm helping people and like actually doing something productive with my time, which I wasn't necessarily. I don't want to say I wasn't doing it, but I didn't feel that fulfillment.
Okay, so how long have you been a part of it?
I want to say either late 2020 or 2021, early 2021.
So kind of like as the pandemic was getting and hitting and kind of like shutting things down.
No, I guess it was in a little bit, so late 2020, I think. Then
Late 20. Okay. Do you know about how long Punk Rock Saves Lives has been an organization? Because I didn't find that on their website.
2019.
Okay, so it's relatively new, just in general. Okay, yeah, because said there's not a whole lot on the website.
Yeah, there's not the
for me to.
history.
I know. Page. I was like, I can't dig into this if it's not got much to give me, so I just wasn't sure. I did see though on the page that the puppy dogs are on the website.
They are critical information to have.
That was Alex's favorite part. Alex was like, let's go back and pet the puppies again.
Yes.
I love the puppies.
They love to be pet.
So, it also, when I guess like it kind of like really showed that it, was more of a group that does like all like punk rock style shows. But, like I met you at the show in why do I always say Sioux Falls? Good Lord, in Durham.
Yeah.
And I believe you were here with Sarah and the Safe Word.
Laura? Jane Grace?
Oh, yeah.
Durham?
And Sarah and the Safe Word was with them.
Someone.
They played right before. Yeah, I had Sarah and the Safe Word because they had the coolest t-shirt at that concert.
Fair.
They had a shirt sitting on the merch booth that said "Save the Trans Child."
Love it.
And I was like, I want that shirt, but I was a broke bartender, so I didn't get that shirt.
How it goes. All right, we'll figure it out.
Right. And I didn't have a pod. I was just kind of like starting out with the concept of like, I wanted to do a podcast. So I didn't know how to be like, talk to bands yet. And I sure didn't know how to be like, hey, I'll trade you some drinks for some merch.
Perfect trade.
It works in my favor sometimes. So, and that's kind of like where I met you. But when I look at it, I'm like, that to me wasn't punk rock.
Yeah, I think a little more pointed for that one.
And so, and then, you know, you gave me the flyer for the Punksylvania, which I didn't get to go to because we were moving at that point. And then we saw you again at Sad Summerfest.
Yes.
Which I'm like, that's not really punk rock either.
What is? There's no rules.
True. And we come across a lot of bands where it's so hard to like determine what genre is. And so we do talk a lot about like skipping the genre styles in music. And we did do one where we had to discuss what egg punk was.
Oh God.
And then we've had millennial, what was it? Millennial punk?
Core.
Yeah, that was another one. That one was fun. We've had a lot of fun on the show so far. So as you got though in your experience with being part of Punk Rock Saves Lives, like what do you, when you go out to the shows, like what is your goal when you're there?
At some very basic level, it's just helping people. Like as long as one person is slightly better off than when, before I got there, then I feel like I was moderately successful. I mean, if that's we like sign people up to be bone marrow donors, so if we can get someone in the registry, that's like a success, even if it's just one person, because that's increasing the chances that someone's life can be saved. So it's like doing it. If it's just as easy as getting someone some earplugs, it's just like just making someone's life just that much more secure and grounded and like, cool, you're not going to go deaf this week.
You guys do have a goodie box.
We do. Our community boxes.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that box.
Yeah, we all kind of tailor it a little differently, but yeah, we do. Like, I keep Band-Aids in there. You'd be surprised how often someone's like, I don't know, running around in the pit and they get a wicked blister on the back of their foot and it's like, oh my God, this Band-Aid saved me. Like, I keep candy in mine too. It's just like, sometimes just that little boop, just does a lot for people.
Last time.
It wasn't my box last time. Shh.
No, that one that we were robbing though had the ducks and the fucks.
Yes.
So we had the fucks and ducks.
All the ducks, all the fucks. But yeah, just like little things like that too. It's just something that like brings a little bit of brightness to someone and just like, oh, sweet. I have this little bit of joy in my day.
Yeah, I brought stuff back, goodies back from that Sad Summer Fest and gave it to my son. And when we were on with Paul from the Geeked Band, we were talking about, because they're kind of a punk rock genre type thing. And my son was like, yeah, I have this. And he was like putting that wristband up to show everybody that he had this Punk Rock Saves Live wristband. He thinks it's the coolest thing.
Aw, excellent.
He loves it. So you said something that got my brain going. You guys do bone marrow registration?
Yeah. The organization kind of, well, literally stemmed off of another organization called Love Hope Strength that was going on the road with like Warped Tour, and like it was very similar to what it is now. Well, more or less. And yeah, they would just like go from stop to stop on like festivals and such, just like exclusively signing people up to be bone marrow donors. And the organization, sorry, stopped swabbing in North America, and they are focusing on Europe and that side of the pond. So Rob and Tina were like, "Hey, we want to keep doing that here because we still got people here who need taking care of." So they
Right.
just immediately picked up that torch and started running with it.
That's very cool. I hadn't heard of being able to do that at a
Mhm.
concert. That
Yeah.
is very, very cool. I like that. And then do you guys ever, I know at Sad Summer Fest they have a booth that's all about like registering, making sure you're registered to vote. And do you guys do that kind of stuff at any shows either, or
Uh, so Sad Summer had different local nonprofits at all of the different stops. So
okay.
not all of them had the voting registration stuff. They had folks for like abortion access, and there was like safe using people set up at a couple of the stops, uh, like food
So did you go
pantry.
to all of them?
I did most of them.
I'm so jealous.
It was fun.
I really like that. I really like that festival. It is very fun.
Yeah. It's the first one I actually made it to. I wanted to go the last couple of years, but it's festival season, so I'm out and about doing other things with other people, and but the stars aligned, and I was able to go this year.
That's cool. So, do you do a lot of shows with the Punk Rock Saves Lives, or is
I've
it just kind
started
of like
doing
you get to pick them?
a little bit of both. I don't have to do any of them, but yeah, I try to do as many as I can. I like getting out there and talking to folks and helping people out.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
So you have a
I'm
day job and you kind of like balance the two out.
I am faking a bunch of part-time work at the moment, so not full-time employed,
Just
but
there.
I'm not bleeding money at the moment. So yeah, I'm able to do the Punk Rock
That
Saves Life
works.
pretty steadily.
That's cool. But it gives you an opportunity to meet people though and make
Yes.
connections with people.
Yes.
And do you feel like when you're making those connections at the shows that they're important to you and the person that you're connecting with in that moment?
Um, Sometimes. I think it depends. I mean, some are just very quick, just interactions, but then other times, yeah, I mean, I can spend a whole set just sitting there talking to somebody who's just like really needs to just like spit a whole bunch of
Alex, you want me to answer that question? Or you can't answer it? Alex is sending me messages about stuff. I'm like, you can't just ask it yourself.
oh my god, ask it yourself.
Alex is very much the tech person in the background. It's so
Well,
funny.
I expect a question.
So when you go to these events, do you go with the same people each time, or does it depend on who volunteers to go to each one?
Yeah, it changes based on where where in the world I'm currently existing.
Where are you?
So
Where you're currently existing? Like where your home base is?
my cat lives in Philadelphia.
Your cat lives in Philadelphia.
Yeah. That's where I sleep
I
most of the
listened
time.
to another I listened to another podcast based in Philadelphia. It's okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when you're getting to travel around and
Mhm.
you're part of these festivals, how often do you get to interact with the bands?
Um, some runs more than others. But for the most part, yeah, the bands are who invite us with them, so they're usually pretty stoked and supportive that we're there. But it all kind of depends on when we show up and when we leave. For the most part, like sometimes the world's happening, I'm working something else, and I don't get to show up until an hour or two before doors. So it's like they're already busy doing stuff, so there's not necessarily um, that time for interaction. But the days that it's like I can show up real early, it's like everyone's just hanging out and blah 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 blah, or they're staying late. So there's it depends on the event, but a fair amount. Met more people than I ever thought I would.
That's cool. So even with like Sad Summer Fest, do the
Mhm.
bands invite you to that, or is that something that the festival
That one was through the festival.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to like figure out like how I get on their guest list at festivals. So
It
like I want a media pass for festivals.
yeah. Festivals can be tricky depending on who puts them on and how they're organized.
I see. Yeah, because I just knowing that you had said that like well you got to go to a number of the Sad Summer Fest,
Mhm.
I figured that one would have to have been something that the festival puts on rather than the like invites all of the vendors to.
Yeah.
Because I know that like when we went to the one the year before,
Hmm.
there was like an LGBTQ booth at that one right when you walk past the
Hmm.
stages, and we hung out at that one for a while and talked to the people there, and they were like super super friendly. But we didn't see a Punk Rock Saves live booth at that one.
Yeah, we
So when you were like,
yeah, we missed that one. I don't remember what ended. There was some hiccup. I was supposed to do the run. Actually, I was supposed to do it, but then I don't remember what happened. But something happened and we couldn't do it.
it was a good show, it was fun.
I know. I was excited. Such a good line.
It was fun, and one of the things that we have noticed is, and I
Mhm.
have to ask if you get to hang out with any of these bands ever, because I really want to know if the lead singer of the Maine is as cool in life as he seems to be on stage.
I love them. They were ghosts. Like they are the one band that I never talked to a single
Serious?
person from. Like they were just. I'm sure they were standing next to me at some point, and I just didn't know. But I don't think I talked to them the whole time.
The whole time. Well, because and I say this like we've seen them perform
Mhm.
at the current year for 2023, and we are at 2020 or 2024 and 2023, and both times he is so charismatic. When he's on the stage, he gets down in the
Mhm.
pit area, he hangs out, he's very much like, one year it was let's sing happy birthday to this little boy in the back, and like this year he had two different people up on the stage. Oh yeah. I'm like, are you really that cool? Like, I have to know.
I can't help you with that one. I'd like to hope so. It sounds like it.
Okay. I feel like he would be a very genuine person
Hmm.
because he just is such a, like, I don't know. I'm absolutely in love with the Bane. I love them.
Yeah, they're a lot
So,
of
do
fun.
you have, like, do you love them too?
I'm not a diehard. Seeing them every day and like being in the same space had made me more of a fan than before. It was definitely a casual listen beforehand. But
Okay.
yeah,
I
exposure,
had
and I'm
no
like,
idea who they
ooh,
were.
yeah.
Exposure, yeah. Yeah, like I had no idea really until we went to the 2023
Hmm.
festival, and then I was like, oh, I'm like, I like these guys. I
Yeah,
like these
they
guys a
know what they're
lot.
doing.
So, so Can you like name, say like your favorite moment? Do you have like a favorite moment from being at festivals? Just like something happens and you're like, that was a standout moment.
Ooh. Um. Excellent question. I don't know. I think the first year I worked Riot Fest, I it's totally not even a music related thing. But I met this actor from this shitty B horror movie that I was just like so stoked about, who was just walking around, and I was like, wow, this is great. I'm just in this weird spot with, and this weird guy just like is here now, and I'm gonna be this guy's friend.
Nice.
That's sweet as it.
Yeah, so like, oh wait, hey, are you the guy? Yes.
Hey, you gotta love a good B-rated movie.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we've seen our fair share of terrible B-rated movies.
They're the best.
Absolutely.
Like, what's your like, Alex? What's your like dumbest B-rated movie you've watched?
Frogs.
Oh
Wasted
my
my
god.
time. Oh my god, my brain cells were gone. I can't believe Ray made us watch that shit. Ugh. That's
It's
why I probably have two halves of two separate brain cells that rub together to create friction, thoughts, and ideas.
it is really it's really bad.
Like, I
No.
don't think you even see a frog in the movie, do you? You just hear them.
Yeah, you do, but they never do anything. They're just like you see them everywhere in the movie and you hear them, but
Uh-huh.
they're not the ones that are doing the killing. It's the spiders and the snakes and the crocodiles and the
Oh no.
lizards. It's a
What
very
called
early
cold
Sam
blooded.
Elliott movie. Like
Oh.
Sam Elliott in the 70s when he was very, very young.
All
I mean,
right.
Snakes on a Plane, that one I would consider pretty up there too. Or
Yeah,
what was that one?
so
The one where it's all the vines. Ruins?
the ruins?
The vines that are going into people and taking over their bodies and killing them? That one was
That's the
weird.
ruins. Where the
I don't
flower
remember.
sounds like the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ruins. We used to live across the street from a house that we joked was the ruins because the
Yeah.
Yes.
vines were like growing up the side of the house and had you could see the front door, but the rest
That
of the
was it.
house was covered.
Like, you couldn't see the windows, nothing.
It was crazy. It was right across the street from where we lived. I
I've
was
never
like,
seen a single person walk out.
yeah, right. Are you okay, David?
No, I'm
Curse
dying.
you.
I've had bad allergies all day.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. It only bothers me when I go to a couple of my clients' houses that have cats.
Oh. Oh no. I
And
think it's just
then
the outside world right now.
the outside world. Do you not like the outside world?
Oh no, it finally cool enough to have the windows open all the time, so I'm getting all the outside inside, and
Oh.
I think that's what's getting me.
Can I go into the outside now? To the out now?
I think
That's
you
what it
can.
was. Can I come into the out now?
I think you're allowed.
My terrible movie quotes. I think I'm allowed. So, kind of like we're gonna backtrack our narrative here and go back. So we were talking about B-rated movies.
Okay.
What was probably in all of your like different shows that you've gone to? Is there like a moment where you were just like, I just have to walk away?
Um, I don't think so. There was a window of time where I discovered that the stupid heat just was killing me, and coming to that realization of like, hey, you can't just stay out in the 100+ degree heat for hours and hours and be okay like you used to. um, that got me, but otherwise I'm pretty when I'm in it, I'm in it. I'm good about not necessarily having to walk away while there. Definitely after. Sometimes I need to take some big time to just be quiet and by myself to recharge, but I haven't necessarily had a moment at an event that I've had to just disconnect from.
Well, I feel like that would be good though, because, like for me, I'm always on the other side of the bar. And
Mhm.
sometimes I just have to be like, I just have to walk away from this.
Yeah.
From whatever the situation on the other side is. And so I always have to wonder if just in any kind of a music situation, if that gets to that point where you're like, I just have to walk away.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever necessarily been like a particular moment that made that happen, but yeah, sometimes it's just like the band that's on is just like too loud and we're too close to the stage and I just need to go run away for a little bit, so that happens. But yeah, I don't think there's never been necessarily one particular moment that pushed that.
That's cool. I like to
But
hear that, because then that just goes back to kind of like promote the idea that it's the music brings people together.
yeah, I think particularly for the most part, like with our setup, you're familiar. It's like it's not the people who are there aren't necessarily just like wandering around looking for something to do, or if they are, they're at least interested enough to stay and hang out. I think it's very evident that it's like, hey, we're just here to like take care of people, so we don't get the drama
Okay.
sometimes that
Yeah,
other.
like chaotic drama almost.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked at a show in like kind of like any venue where there was that kind of chaotic drama where you were just like, I need to get out of this space?
um no, I don't think that any venue has ever necessarily been problematic for any of us. Actually, now that I think about it, I think venues are fairly accommodating to what we're up to and what we're doing, and recognize that we're making it a better environment for the actual concert goers, so it's encouraged and supported. Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think anyone's really had any major problems with any venues.
Awesome. Because like we always tell everybody that like our podcast is a safe space for anything. Like there's nothing like we don't call like any kind of a topic taboo. Nothing is
Mhm.
off limits. We want you to be able to come on and talk about anything and everything and feel safe. And I want to be able to have faith in that when concert goers go into their venues, that they kind of can feel that same way too, or vendors such as you guys with the Punk Rock Save Lives can go on and be like, this is a safe space.
Yeah, yeah. I think, I mean, we regularly get people who um, come to us for that as well. Um, yeah, I think we try to also exist as that space, and it kind of, I don't know, forces the rest of it away.
That's cool. Yeah, just to create a safe space for everybody,
Yeah,
essentially.
definitely.
Awesome. And then looking towards like the rest of this year,
Mhm.
does Punk Rock Saves Live have Saves Lives? My mouth is just not wording today. Do
Are
you
you
guys
talking about
have like an
this?
upcoming events calendar?
Um, I am bad about putting the calendar together. That's on my agenda of things to do. but I'm bad at it because I guess it's not an excuse, but this year we added a whole bunch of chapters. So we have tons of local events popping up that I find it hard to keep up with. But yeah, we got a good pile of stuff coming out through for the rest of the year.
Okay, and then is this group like central to like the eastern part of the U.S., or have you spread out to be more like a national style?
National for sure. The two founders, Rob and Tina. Rob was at Sad Summer with me. Live in Denver. And
Nice.
I'm out this way, so I tried to pick up some slack for them because it's much shorter of a commute for me down to like, I don't know, Raleigh, versus them heading from Denver over. So
Okay, so would you be considered like the go-to person for the eastern part of the U.S.?
I don't like that title, but I think so.
Oh, okay. So how do you prefer to be?
Oh, I don't know. I don't like it. I drive places for them.
Okay.
Once there's the
So,
responsibility of in charge of something, I'm like, no, I don't want to be in charge of something.
okay. All right. Okay. Now I get what you're saying. Okay. I was like, did I insult him? Did I make
No,
him feel
no, 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 no,
uncomfortable
no,
all
no,
of a
no,
sudden?
no, no.
You're like, I'm just not the in charge person. Okay. So I get it. You're the tech person.
Yeah. I'm the East Coast drive places person.
The East Coast. Okay. And so then they have the two founders are kind of like in the mid part, and then there would
Mm-hmm.
be somebody else that schedules the West Coast
We
events.
have they cover the whole country. It's yeah. I mean they do runs all year. They're on the road with like Tina's usually with Bowling for Soup, and she just follows them nationwide everywhere. And yeah, words.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah,
my
we have
words are
like
not.
20 chapters or so now, maybe, just set up in other regions. Like we have our like San Diego, Southern California, so they will deal with a bunch of events that are like down there. We have a couple chapters in Florida that will like pick up Florida events, all over the place. So those will handle like the off random events for the most part, and then yeah, like Rob and Tina will do full runs, and I'll do the occasional full run, and yeah, that's a loose structure of travel, I
Okay.
suppose.
I see.
If that answers that, I don't know if that answers that.
Yeah, it gives you a much better idea of the size of this kind of collective group of people who are just trying to make a better space
Yeah,
and do more good and promote safety and freedom.
All I hear is Bishop.
I'm hearing your dogs.
My dogs are laying down.
Well, I'm hearing dogs from somewhere, and it's not my dogs.
Not my dogs. I
ain't
hear
no dogs
Bishop
here.
breathing.
Oh, that's so weird. But yeah, Bishop just sat on me. Sorry, my son's sitting on top of me, so
That'll do it.
he, he always likes to come and be part of the stuff. And I was like, well, the camera's not going, so nobody can see him.
Yeah,
I
there you go.
didn't
Perfect
realize
time.
that he was being loud. Sometimes he's like running through, putting like bunny rabbit ears and stuff behind my head and causing chaos.
My God.
So he's crazy. So if you're like the East Coast person, and then there's
Mhm.
the West Coast people, and then do you guys do like any kind of international work, or is it just within the U.S.?
No.
Like across the pond?
No. It gets tricky. Um, yeah, it becomes a logistic nightmare with cross international border nonprofit work. It just it gets messy. I
Okay.
think
I just was
it'd
kind
be
of
awesome if we
curious.
could. I have no idea where it ended or if it's in progress or what, but we were talking to a couple lawyers about doing stuff in Canada, which I guess makes the most sense as the baby step. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, crossing borders gets messy.
Okay. Yeah. And that makes sense too, because all of their laws and rules and regulations are always different there. And maybe trying to set up a nonprofit in a country where you don't hold residency would be
Yeah.
crazy. I cleaned for, because my day job is a cleaning company, and I cleaned for some people that had
Mhm.
come over from Quebec. And to hear her stories about growing up in Canada is insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And
Canada
so
is.
she always kind of tells me about like the differences between here and there. And so I just wanted to kind of touch base on that. um I don't know if I have anything else to questions about today.
Oh my. Um, why not?
uh
No.
because I couldn't find a lot. I know, but
That's fair.
there wasn't a lot to dig into on the website. I know I was trying to find stuff, and I was like, I
Hmm.
just don't. But I feel like you covered the bases that I wanted to cover,
Hmm.
to give a better understanding of what the kind of the initiative is and what you guys do, and
Yeah.
to be like creating that safe space at concerts. And I'm sure that we'll see you again.
Yeah.
Sad Summer
The
Fest has
next
become
little
our
one. Go ahead.
the next one. Oh, I'd say
Oh
Sad
yeah, the
Summer Fest
next.
has become like our summer go-to concert. Yeah, we don't miss
Mhm.
that one.
No, 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 no. I'll definitely be stars align at that again and again and again and again.
It's such a fun show. It really is. I find that everybody there is always like super friendly.
Hmm.
Um, Meeting the acts is friendly when we go. Okay, just sit over there for just a second. Give me just a minute. It's crawling on me. That when we go and we're waiting in merch lines to talk to bands, they're always super friendly. Everybody that works at the shows, that does the vendor booths, everybody is just so sociable and
Yeah,
nice, and the energy in the air is just about having fun. I'm not like looking around wondering like, do I need to watch my back or anything like that.
yeah,
It's so much fun, and it's such relaxed fun.
yes, definitely. It was kind of work tour light for me at least. It was like, ooh, everyone's just like hanging out, and everyone's just like taking care of everyone else, and
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
I definitely enjoy that show. But you were saying though that you guys have stuff going on through the rest of this year.
yeah. We're gonna do another run with Bowling for Soup. I have a couple odd festivals up this way that I'm gonna be helping with. Um, in October, which it is now. Oh my god. I think we have a couple Big D and the Kids Tables shows that are going down from up
And what is
Boston to
this?
Florida. So I assume there's going to be a couple stops along the way, like in your neck of the woods. I don't quote me on that though.
What
I
is
don't
it?
remember. Big D and the Kids Table.
What is that?
They're a ska band from Boston.
Huh.
They're a lot of fun. They're great. They're some of the most amazing people that I've hung out with for a bit. So, A plus, folks.
I'll have to check it out.
And I will be doing a little run at the end of October, early November with Bridge City Sinners. And I think we're going to be in Durham-ish area. There's a couple North Carolina, South Carolina stops.
Okay.
I'm going outside, Mom.
Okay, babe.
But they're a ton of fun.
That's cool.
They're great people also.
You have to email me dates for that and where they're at.
Yes.
Alex and I try to like pop in and reconnect with bands and people that we have on the show.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. They are very approachable.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm always looking for new guests of all kinds, whether it's, people that I meet like you just on the sidelines, working the show to promote whatever cause that you might be in, or it's a promoter, or even like there's a gentleman down in Virginia Beach that does a lot of venue booking, and he not only does he like promote a lot of shows and like put the festivals and the shows together, like he plays in his own band.
Oh, fun.
And so he's such a busy person, and so I'm always trying to kind of like broaden it and build this up to where like everybody can just feel comfortable reaching out and being like, hey, I have an open slot, or I have a band that you might like, or there's, I'm going to be a part of this festival.
Yeah.
To just create a community where it's safe for everybody.
Love it. I think, more of that. Everyone needs to just help each other out. If we ain't there for each other, who is?
Most definitely. Yeah. Very true. Very, very true. And then does Punk Rock Saves Lives, do they have like an Instagram or a Facebook page that people can follow?
Yes, it's Punk Rock Saves Lives. On all of them.
On all the things.
On all of the things.
Awesome.
They're...
On all of the things.
I'm terrible at the things, but we exist and have like a real presence on, I want to say, pretty much all of the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah. I know Facebook has a bunch of like groups set up too on there that have some like more pointed community. Like there's a mental health group that we have some like therapists, psychiatrists who pop in the group and can like help link people up with whatever they may be in need of, if that's getting a new counselor or what have you. There's recovery groups, etc. Yeah, there's tons of groups on Facebook. Instagram's fairly active. There's a TikTok and maybe a Twitter. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, yeah, we don't mess with that one at all.
I'm only on Instagram, so.
Yeah, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, and Threads.
Yeah.
What in the world is that?
Threads is the Facebook version of
Twitter.
Instagram. Yeah, or Instagram's Twitter. It's something new. It kept popping up, and so finally I was like, okay, fine. I just clicked it. So where Instagram is mostly like posting reels and videos, Threads is just words.
Yeah.
Like you can post like a picture and words like you do on Facebook. You don't have to, like, it doesn't have any of the reels or videos.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's new-ish. I think it has been bugging me for like a month or so, and I gave up and was like, okay. So we're on Threads now.
Woo! Surprise!
Thanks for telling me.
You're welcome.
Pretty much.
Okay, well, thank you, David, for coming to chit chat with us.
Of course.
About
Anytime.
punk
I'm
rock
always
saves
happy to chit chat.
lives. And we'll get you back on. But
Ooh, okay.
if everybody wants to follow Punk Rock Saves Lives on Instagram and Facebook, and come hang out with us at Chatting Underground on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Alex.
Button.